You're listening to Cash and Sass. I'm Lisa Marie, your go-to gal for all things money. As the Sassy Wealth Queen and the brains behind the Sassy Wealth Coach, I'm here to take you on a thrilling ride from the financial chaos to sassy and sexy money. Welcome back, my sassy friend, to another episode of Cash and Sass. My name is Lisa Marie, and I am the Sassy Wealth Queen and the brains behind this podcast, and of course, the Sassy Wealth Coach. And today, I am here to talk to you about the fifth wealth code, financial wealth. And you know what? We're going to dive deeper into it, okay? Because this is one of the important ones, and I'm really excited about it. This code is all about mastering your money and measuring your progress, okay? It's also about building a personalized money roadmap that aligns, use that word a lot, with your unique values, your goals, and your lifestyle. And I think it's really important to say that it really needs to align. If it's not aligning, then it's not going to work. Okay. So first, let's talk about why a money roadmap is so essential. As entrepreneurs, it's easy for us to get caught up in the day-to-day hustle and lose sight of the big picture. A money roadmap helps you realize and clarify and make sure that you know what your financial goals are, and create a plan to achieve them so that you can stay on track no matter what no matter what the challenges are that may come, right? Because y'all, life happens, right? And so sometimes when life happens, things are going to get thrown off track. And so having a money roadmap helps you stay better on track. So, okay, Lisa, what do we do to build this money roadmap? How do I make it where it's for me and it's not some cookie cutter? Well, I'm going to tell you. To build your money roadmap, what I believe you need to start first with is getting clear on your values, your desires, your goals, and your priorities. So what's most important to you? Is it financial freedom? Is it family time? Is it travel? Is it giving back to your community? What is it? Now, I am going to stress this probably multiple times. Let me see how I want to say this. Okay. It doesn't matter what someone else says your priorities should be. I want to know what your priorities are. What matters when you're building your money roadmap is what your priorities are. What your current expenses are, yes. What those yearly expenses are, yes. And what's important to you. What are your values? What are your core values? What are your desires? What are your priorities? And what are your goals? So you need to be able to know exactly what those are and list them out. Now, you also next have to take a close look at your current financial situation. Y'all, I can't stress this enough. It doesn't mean hills of beans or doesn't mean nothing if you don't know what's going on with your money. I'm going to say that again. It doesn't make a difference if you've got all the other stuff written down, those priorities, those goals, all your desires to build a money roadmap if you don't know what's going on with your money. So you've got to take a close look at your current financial situation. And again, it's your financial situation. What are your income? What are your expenses? What is your cash flow? What are the assets and liabilities do you have? So some of you may say, okay, first of all, what are you talking about with a cash flow? Cash flow is the ins and outs of your income and your expenses, the money coming in, the money going out as it's happening. This is really important, especially in your business or in anything, because it lets you know when you can expect certain things to come in and when things are going out. And in order to know that, you have to know exactly what your expenses are and when they're taken out, and know what revenue you're bringing in and when it's normally coming in. It doesn't, even if it's even if it's not consistent. So I have a friend who, she was saying it's so hard for us to to be able to put something together because each month is different. Okay, that's fine, but you should be able to tell each month what the cash flow looks like, okay? And so what you want to be able to do is build from that. Now, most of us know what assets and liabilities are, right? So when you're building a money roadmap, I don't necessarily truly worry about the assets and liabilities, except what bills you have from those liabilities that we want to put in the money roadmap to make sure it's being paid. So, like for example, if you have a goal to pay off debt, which is a liability, then we want to make sure we also include that as that part of it as a money roadmap. If there's just a liability, you're paying off a loan and, you don't have huge debt and so you're okay with having that, then we're just going to make sure that's an expense put in there. Okay? All of this information helps you create a realistic plan to reach your goals. The reason why I say realistic is because so often I will see entrepreneurs who are trying to make unrealistic goals and then they beat themselves up when they don't get there. They think they're not worthy. They don't think they can do it. And it's just not true. Y'all, just because you see someone who has these big, huge, shiny objects doesn't mean, okay, that you can go right out and do it overnight. And I guarantee you, they didn't get there overnight. You've got to be able to take your steps, okay? So just because someone else doesn't want to carry debt doesn't mean you don't have to carry debt, which is a whole other episode I'll be getting into on leveraging your debt and the difference between good and bad, because there's a difference. But we're not getting into that today, okay? I want you to realize mapping out your own roadmap and including your goals and your priorities is what's going to help you be successful. Knowing your money, knowing what's going in, what's coming out is going to help you be successful. Okay. So now it's time to map out your route. Map out that GPS route on your money roadmap. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to encourage you to do, and what I have my clients do and what I do myself, is break your big goals down into smaller, achievable milestones. So, what do I mean by that? Well, a lot of us, when I'm talking about these bigger goals just a minute ago, will have this huge goal. For example, I want to, well, let's say, for example, a big, huge goal is I want to make 250K. Okay. Or I want to go on vacation to Hawaii or something like that. Okay. Okay. So break that down into smaller goals. Okay. So that it can be achievable. So work backwards. So, for example, if you're only making, I want to say only, if you are making 50,000 a year and you want to get to 200, and you said you want to make 300, you don't want to make that a 3-month goal, right? Yes, it could be achieved by some, but by majority of us, we're not going to quadruple that much in 3 months. So we want to make it a realistic goal, and then we want to break it down. Okay, so what goal could we have for the next 3 months, and then the 6 months, and then the 9 months? Okay, so if you're making 50, um, what what could be your 3-month goal or your 6-month goal? Okay, I could achieve this, right? And you want to put it on the edge. Yes, you want to be a little edgy. You want to be a little bit out of your comfort zone, but that way you start reaching them, and then that bigger goal gets even closer. Okay, so you want to make them where they're achievable milestones. You want to create a timeline for reaching them. And again, consider what resources you'll need along the way: education, support, professional advice. And y'all, don't be afraid to seek out some guidance. Don't if one of your big huge milestones is retiring by a certain age, then please go talk to a financial planner. Talk to someone who knows their stuff. Talk to someone who can help you achieve that goal. And I promise you, if it's a good financial planner, they're also going to break it down into milestones that you can achieve to get to that bigger goal. They're going to do a timeline to show you, okay, you can get here in 10 years, or you can get here in 5, or you can get here in 15. The whole kicker of it is making it was realistic and achievable for you. Okay. Someone else might be, I want to go to Hawaii. Okay. Let's see what it'll take for you to be able to save to go to Hawaii and how long it would take. Is there anything in your money roadmap that you might need to cut back on so that you can achieve those things? These are all things that you want to look at. Now, if it's not retirement or certain things, financial planner can help you with a lot of those. And then, like myself, a wealth coach, I can come in and help you build the money roadmap. And anything that's outside of my expertise, I'm going to tell you who refer you to someone who can help you better. Okay. But the key is don't be afraid to reach out for help when you're doing this, especially if you get stuck and you're not sure, okay, I'm not sure what kind of timeline I can do this, or how do I even start saving for the Hawaii vacation, or I'm not sure if I have money leaks or what those money leaks look like. Okay, me as a CFO and a wealth coach, honey, I can go in and I can look at your stuff and I can help you see the money leaks. It's just one of my superpowers, I guess. It's one of the things I'm good at, and I'm able to help you plug those leaks so that you can reach your goals. Okay. But again, you've got to know what's going on with your money in order to be able to achieve those things. Now, you know, an accountant or a tax advisor, they can help you optimize your taxes. Um, a fractional CFO, which is one of the things I do, is also can also be a game changer. It's because we're able to help you with the financial strategy support and it not be like a full-time thing. But what I need you to remember is you don't have to do it alone. Two, you have to know your numbers. Now, I'm going to go and try to tell you a little bit of how you can go about uh, getting your numbers, especially if you don't have them. Okay. So, first, I want you to look at your income. I want you to be able to know, on average, how much you're bringing revenue wise in your business each month. Even if it varies, you can go and look. You should be able to go look. If you need to go look at your bank statements or if you have an accounting system, you can go and look and see that. Okay. Excuse me. The most important part, this next step, is you want to list out all your monthly expenses. Okay. You want to know um, who who is being paid to, when it's coming out of your account, and how much. Okay. Yes, on a spreadsheet, listed out. I have mine. My money roadmap is on a spreadsheet. All my goals, everything is on this spreadsheet. That's how I create the money roadmap for my clients as well. But you want to have all of this because, again, the more information you have, the more power you have. So if there's debt, you need to list it. You need to list who is paid to, the interest rate, how much, all of these things. Okay. That's giving you the knowledge to be able to look at, okay, this is how much money is going out. This is how much money is coming in. Is there anything left over? Right now, then what I suggest is people go back 3 months and do what I call a deep dive. Most people aren't willing to do this. So, again, if you want some help, reach out, have someone help. Okay. But you want to do a deep dive. You want to be able to look at those expenses, those one off expenses of where the money's going that we don't think about. Because how often do we swipe our card and don't think about it? And again, when we look at it, we're able to really truly know what's going on, right? So I call it like a quarterly deep dive into the bank account. So if it's a credit card, bank account, whatever that may be, okay? So that's going to get you started. Now, do not do all of it in one day. Please don't do all of it in one day, okay? One step at a time so that you can start getting there. Okay. So I want you to remember your money roadmap is unique to you and your business. This is important. What works for me or what works for another entrepreneur may not necessarily work for someone else. It's important to create the plan that fits your specific needs, goals, and lifestyle and your business. And as you navigate this, make sure you're staying flexible and adaptable, right? y'all, it's called a money roadmap for a reason. The reason I call it a money roadmap is because it's like a GPS. Okay. And sometimes, right, what does your GPS in your vehicle do if there's an accident or, I don't know, there's some construction going on? It takes you on a detour. Okay. That money roadmap is also a living document that should evolve with you in your business. So you're going to regularly review it. You need to regularly review it, adjust your plan so that you can stay on track. And you have to be willing to make tweaks. Okay. Life happens. Y'all, just because you have a money roadmap doesn't mean life doesn't happen. You've got to be able to make those tweaks. Okay. So here's some actionable steps for you to take to be more aware and become that financial wealth queen. Okay. You ready? Clarify your values and your financial goals. Write them down. Okay. And I suggest referring to them often to remind yourself. 2, assess your current financial information, your situation. Gather all your information, create a clear picture of your income and your expenses. And when I say your expenses, I mean your yearly expenses, your one-off expenses, all of those things, okay? Those goals that you wrote down, break them down into smaller milestones so that you can create a timeline for achieving them. And they should be included in your money roadmap, okay? So that you can always refer to them. And don't hesitate to hire someone who can help you create and implement that wealth building strategy, because you'll get so much further, because there may be something you're not seeing that they may see. And also, always be willing to review and adjust your money roadmap regularly so that you can stay on track and adapt to the changes in your business and your personal life. Because remember, life happens. And sometimes when life happens, it means you have to tweak that money roadmap. Okay. I want you to remember that financial wealth is about more than just numbers. It's creating a life and a business that aligns with your deepest values and your goals. And when you are able to build a money roadmap, and when you are able to know what's going on in your numbers, you're going to be well on your way to achieving that abundant and fulfilling life, okay, that you want and that you deserve and is for you to get. And the reason why I made it the 5th wealth code is because it's really important. And I didn't want someone to get stuck on that money piece, okay? Because financial wealth is just more than numbers. It's all of it. It's embodiment and it's understanding what's going on with your money. I want you to remember, knowledge is power, okay? And when you know what's going on with your money, the ins and the outs, then you're able to make the changes, you're able to adjust, you're able to tweak, and then you're able to actually achieve all the wealth that you're wanting, okay? All right. So that's it for today. I hope that you got something good out of this and all of the 5 wealth codes. So again, and just remember, it's just so much more than numbers with being wealthy, including the financial wealth. It's about the power. It's about knowing. It's leading you to that abundant and fulfilling life. And knowing your numbers and having a plan in place will help you get you there. All right. Thanks for watching. Until next time, remember to stay sassy. Bye. Thanks for joining us this week on Cash and Sass. Check us out on social media and on our website at www.thesassywealthcoach.com, where you can download my free Money Story Start Guide. The website again is www.thesassywealthcoach.com. And as always, subscribe to the show to catch every new episode and leave us a review so we can continue to bring you fresh content. And remember, yes, it is possible to have sassy and sexy money. See you next week.